Hello, my happy crafters. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to be working on my very first notebook cover that I'm going to be making with UV resin. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be incorporating any other resins to this one particularly, but it's definitely going to be in UV resin. I'm going to be trying out the new resin that I purchased, which is this UV resin that I shared with you guys during my Amazon haul video. If you want to check that out, it's the video right before this one, or the video it's the video from yesterday. Today is the 6th, so it's the video from the 5th, January the 5th. So I purchased this kit. It came with a whole bunch of little cups and little things like that, but I haven't tried it yet. It's still sealed. And I'm going to be using this to test out, to test this resin out. I'm going to be using it on this mold. And I've gone ahead and sketched something out that I'm going to be using for this book cover. And again, I'm going to be doing wire art, which is what I was doing with the butterflies that I shared with you guys in that video previously as well. So this is what I drew up. And this is my own original design, you guys. I basically designed it to custom fit the cover of this mold, and thankfully I didn't have to do too much erasing, even though that doesn't really matter, which is what's awesome about this, because you just have to basically go by the guidelines of what you have already set down. So I have my face all drawn up, and in this process you're going to see me fill it in. You're going to see the steps and how I go about making sure that the wires stay in place. And this is all based on what I've learned by watching others, you guys. I am not the originator of any of these techniques, nor do I claim to be. I'm just inspired by them, and I know that I can incorporate them into my crafts, and that's what we're supposed to do. So yay! Thank you guys so much for all your hard work and efforts. Your videos are amazing, and you have taught me so much, and I'm just trying to teach that information, forward that information, and create create and inspire as you guys have created and inspired me. So the channel that I get most of my inspiration from is a channel called Sandra Arts, and there's a couple other channels that unfortunately I would love to mention them, but I don't know what their channel names are, so I will try to leave a link to those channels down below. I know it's two of them that I do watch kind of religiously, and I get a lot of information from. And I think that if you're trying to get yourself into resin, or if you like the things that I'm creating, that is the source of my inspiration. And along with what I'm creating that can inspire you, I'm sure that they can also help inspire you as well. And so, you guys, I hope you enjoy this. Again, we're going to be testing this product out. I hope that this comes out well. And it's awesome because I don't actually damage my design. My design is underneath, and I can see it just perfectly right through the top. As you guys can see, I can see everything. So I'm going to be using silver wire to create this one, but I also want to do another one with gold wire, but I'm waiting for the gold wire to arrive in the mail. So silver is what I have, silver is what we're going to use, and this is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. I will try to answer them as best as I can. I'm not a pro at this, but I'm learning as I go, and maybe the mistakes that I've made are mistakes that I can save you from making. And if you see me making mistakes, please, by all means, feel free to let me know down below. And yes, enjoy the process, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Alright, my friends, so as you guys saw, it's not, you know, the easiest, but it's not the most difficult either. Depending on the wire that you're using, depends on the resistance that you're going to have. Some wires are going to bend a lot easier than others. Mine's is kind of like a softer type of a bend. As you can see, it bends really easy, very easily. I'm not really sure what the gauge is. I know a lot of people are probably going to ask me what's the gauge of this wire. I really have no idea. But I think it's like hardware, like the kind of things that you get like in the home repair aisle and stuff like that. Like it's just regular wire. It's not like soldering wire or anything like that. I think it's just regular wire. So I've done most of the outline here. What I'm going to be doing next is just making sure that all of them are flush so that there's no air space between the paper, or well, my molds and the actual wires. So I'm going to run through all of the different pieces and just make sure that everything is nice and flush, because of some pieces, you know, for me manipulating them do get a little bit, you know, warped. So I'm just going to make sure that those are what they need to be. I'm going to close off any openings, like you can see here how far off that is from each other. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust all of these different pieces. The only things that I haven't done as yet is the little circles for the eyes, and then the strands that I'm going to put down here, because this, I don't know if I'm going to do them exactly how I have drawn them in. I just knew that I wanted some kind of lines back there. So I'm going to work on that and probably add those lines in either later on, or maybe I'll, you know, freestyle it a little bit further. But super excited. I think it's coming along awesomely. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the next part of this done, which is, like I said, flatten these pieces out. Then I'm gonna give this a little coat of resin, a very light coat of resin. I just wanted enough. I just want enough of a layer, and this layer is not gonna be in color, so I just want enough of a layer so that I can lay my pieces in here and kind of dry them real quick. I don't want to fill it up with so much resin that when I go add my colors, they're like overflowing everywhere. So I just want to make sure that I have enough resin here where it's nice and thin, and I'm able to lay in all of my metal wires and basically get the shape that I need. I'm going to dry that, and then we're going to go on with the coloring, so on and so forth. So yay, on to the next step. to chat with you guys for a few. So as you saw, it was quite a lengthy process. There was a lot of different layers to do. I'm sure that I sped up this video quite a bit just to get most of the process in there. I know that for some, you know, it's a little bit annoying. I do apologize, but I do try to get as much of the process that I go through in the videos. And the only way to do that and have some type of decent timing is to speed the videos up. But I did want to come back and kind of give you my thoughts on the resin and how it feels now that it's dry. And I really do like it. It's not sticky at all. You can see that my hand's not sticking to it. I did cure it a whole bunch of times, so it's like super cured, I think, at this point in time. The thickness is rather thick. I did go ahead and waste, now that it's settled, it's more like almost half of the bottle. I want to say a little bit less than half is what I have left out of the 200 grams. So if you're going to go this route, you can just expect to invest a lot of the UV resin into them because it does take quite a bit. And as you can see, they're not even, it's not dimensional. It's very flat, but the surface is very big. I think moving forward, I'm probably going to play a little bit more with the medium size one and maybe create myself a smaller journal as well. And when I do this, the next kind of thing that I want to experiment with, I want to see if it'll take like me doing a layer of this in the bottom, like a super thin layer, and then adding like a layer of the regular resin over it and just letting it sit overnight. But I just don't know if this is really thick enough to do that. If anybody knows of this mold, maybe with a thicker wall, if you guys could let me know, if you watch this video, I would be greatly appreciative. Because I think that these would be super awesome. I just wish that the wall was just a little bit, you know, a little bit higher so that we can kind of gauge ourselves how, you know, how deep we want it, especially if we want to add things to it. That's like my only little downside to the mold. Other than that, it works now though, which I will be getting to test out now. See, I have like little pits here and there. So it's not like completely perfect in the back. I also did have a little bit of an issue with the wire because even though I had set it originally and it was like fitting fine, I guess I must have hit it or something because that wire is super sensitive. I would recommend that if you're going to do this, so that your shapes stay exact, use a wire that has more resistance so that once you bend it into shape, it keeps its shape. And maybe even go with a wire that's a little bit thicker than the one that I used for this project here. I have more wire coming in the mail. Hopefully I chose one that's thicker because I'm learning about the gauges of wires now as I go, as I said before. So, but I do really like how she came out. I think she came out so much for watching. If you've watched the video to this point, if you have not subscribed, please do so. Join the Happy Day Crafts family. Become a happy crafter. Hit that bell so that you can get all of the notifications. Don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know what was your favorite part of this process. I would really love to hear what you guys think. All right, you guys, let's keep it moving.